Hey everybody, it's Miss Smith here. I'm going to go over how to use ReadWorks just to benefit you more as you are turning in your assignments and making sure that you're getting all that you can out of these and the best possible grades that you can. So if you'll look here on this first screen, you're going to see that we have I Want My Phone. That is today's lesson. If you click here, it's going to read the lesson to you. So I'm going to click on it and let you hear.
I want a phone by ReadWorks. I want a phone, said Myrna.
So there we have them being able to read the story to you. So if you feel like you need that, that is great. And as you're reading, make sure you're using your mouse to track along. Another tracking tool that they have for you is up here. You have 4 little buttons. So let's click on this one that has 2 bars and ABC between it. And look what it does to our passage. It turns it dark. Okay, so I'm going to click the mouse.
I bet you do, said her dad.
And so as you're going,
Dad, you don't understand.
As you're going, you'll see, I bet you do, said her dad. It will show you each line, which for some of you, that will really help you track a little bit better, okay? So you can use it whichever way you want, with the dark screen or without. This tool right here will make your font bigger, or it'll make it back small. So if you click it 3 times, that's the biggest font, and when you get to the 4th click, it goes right back down to its original size. Now, this is something that I really love about ReadWorks is this little button over here that looks like a window. If you'll notice here, we have our passage on one side and our questions on the other. And I really love that because we know we read the questions first, we break those questions down. Then when we go back over here to our passage, then we say, okay, we're looking for possible answers. So I'm going to look back at question 1. What does Myrna want? Does she want a car, a boat, a phone, or a kitten? Well, look right here. I want a phone, Myrna said. Okay, now look what happens when you highlight that. You have 4 colors that pop up. Don't care what color you use, but look, there's my evidence for number 1, and I'm even going to click this little button right here, and I'm going to put a 1 in it, and right next to it, I'm going to know when I go to check your work that you have put your proof, you've highlighted it, and then over here, you even put the number for your answer. Now, something else that you can do as you're doing this is you can click this button right here. Now, this is our paragraph number, and that's really important that if it asks you a question about in paragraph 5, where were Myrna and her dad stuck? Well, right here it says they were stuck in traffic. So that's going to pop up again, and I'm going to highlight it again, and let's pretend that that was question 75. There's not 75 questions. Don't freak out about that. But this way you can kind of see where you need to put your notes and stuff like that, okay? Now, the last thing I want to work with you on is your short answers, and I've been writing little notes at the end of every one of these as you're turning them in, because some of you are really struggling with writing these short answers. A short answer. Good night, Hillary. Yeah, thanks to Hillary for messing up the video, right? Okay. So on question 8, it says, near the end of the story, Myrna's dad wants to call her mom, but his phone battery is dead. What does Myrna point out that she could do if she had a phone? So we're going to restate that question. We're going to get rid of some of those words, but we're going to use the question to start our answer. So we would say, Myrna points out that, and then what does she point out that they could do if she had a phone? You can put your answer right here in the blank, okay? Now let's look at question number 9. Explain how Myrna feels about not getting a phone at the end of the story. Support your answer with evidence from the text. You have got to use details from this story to answer this question. So we're going to restate the question. At the end of the story, because that's what it says right here, at the end of the story, Myrna feels. How does she feel? So you would put your answer in there, and then you could say the text says, and you're going to give us some evidence from the text. So I'm going to scroll down here and see if I can find something. At the end of the story, let's see. She was embarrassed. She was, oh goodness. She slammed her hand down on the glove box compartment as hard as she could, which wasn't very hard. But now she was what? She was angry. So, how was she feeling at the end of the story? Myrna feels angry. And then the text says, and I can go right here and I can highlight this stuff for my answer for fiddlesticks. For my answer to number 9. There's my text. I just have to say the text says, and remember, if you're quoting the text, you have to use quotation marks to begin it, then your period, and then quotation marks to end it. And I'm also going to give you a little clue to number 10. Throughout the story, Myrna and her dad argue about getting a phone. Explain whether or not the argument is resolved in the end of the story. So, let's explain this answer here. Myrna and her dad argue about getting a phone. At the end of the story, tell me what happens. Is the argument resolved? Did they get a problem solved, or did they not get the problem solved? And again, you have to support with your answer. The text says, or you have to support with the text. The text says. All right. I really, really hope that this helps you when you're answering your stuff. From now on, if you are not highlighting that text, your proof, and if you're not using complete sentences, guys, you're not going to get full credit on your score on ReadWorks or even on Simple Solutions. You have to put your proof. You have to have a complete sentence. Remember, if you need any help, you can always let me know. I'll talk to you soon.